the Warriors, and we expect a war. My turn, your turn, between Steph Curry and the Butler here. Curry, three. Oh! Curry dialing long distance. He'll throw up a shot. Oh, geometrically, that should not have happened.
Not one, but two closers on the same team.
That puts an exclamation mark on this Golden State win in Game 1.
Hey, good day. Welcome into First Take. Hope you two both had a wonderful Easter. The Hall of Famer, Shannon Sharpe, Stephen A. Smith. I'm Molly Querim. Gentlemen, I don't know about you, but I'm kind of in business mode. We're talking playoffs. You care if we just dive right in?
Let's go. Let's go.
The Warriors came to play last night in Houston. Golden State built a big lead early and withstood a comeback from the Rockets in the fourth to win Game 1 of the series. Steph Curry was in vintage form, sinking 5 threes, scoring a game-leading 31 points. Here's Butler on Steph, a.k.a. Batman.
Batman comes out of nowhere. You never see him coming, then he just falls from the sky, from a building, behind the door, and does some incredible things, man. He's going to be the reason that we do win it all. We all know that, but we got to protect him at all costs.
All right, Asa, here's what I want to know. Were you more disappointed in Houston's performance or impressed with what Golden State did?
Well, I was disappointed. Don't get me wrong. I'm not taking anything away from Golden State. What we saw from Steph and Jimmy Butler, however, is something that I expected. What I did not expect was for Houston to shoot 39% from the field. I didn't expect them to shoot 21% from three-point range. I didn't expect Jalen Green. I mean, you got to remember, when it comes to Jalen Green and what this brother brings to the table, he's a preeminent face of the franchise, Shannon. And so what you have to think about, if you're the Houston Rockets, you've got a couple of the picks that the Phoenix Suns, you ultimately got from the Phoenix Suns. You'd love to get that back. There's been rumors about how KD could end up being in Houston because obviously Phoenix needs to recoup. They need to retool, and they've got to find a way to position themselves to get some additional assets for somebody like a KD. Well, if you're Houston, you'd have to give up a player. If you're Jalen Green, you don't want to be in Phoenix. You want to be in Houston with what Ime Udoka is building there. But you show up last night and you wet the bed. You don't get it done. Fred VanVleet's a champion. He doesn't really get it done collectively, shooting the basketball. They don't get it done. We know what they can do defensively. We know they're long. We know they're athletic. The question is, can you put the ball in the hole? This is why the Warriors were picked by so many to win this series, because we knew that when it was time, you got somebody to get the ball to in Steph Curry. In their case, they've got two individuals, but we did expect Houston to look a little bit better offensively, and that was my only thing, Shannon. I didn't expect them to look this bad offensively. I did not expect them to look this bad offensively. That was my issue, and that's why I say I'm a bit disappointed.
I agree with everything you just said, Stephen A., because I was expecting two of the three best players to play well, and one of them there, only Sengun showed up and played. Jalen Green did not play well. Amen Thompson did not play well. Fred VanVleet, I don't think he's played well all year. And so when you combine that, we got what you expected from the Golden State Warriors. Everybody expected Steph to show up. That's why they went and got Jimmy Butler. That's why they extended him and gave him 2 years, $120+ million, because they know in moments like this, he doesn't shrink. He rises to the occasion. But I was very disappointed in Houston Rockets, and I think the thing the Rockets is going to learn at some point in time, you're going to have to find a guy that you can put the ball in his hands and he can go get you a bucket. They don't have that. Collectively, they are a very good team. If you look at all the other teams, every other team in the playoffs, with the exception of the Rockets, I believe, has someone that can put the ball in his hands, Stephen A., and they can go get a bucket. They like to, their team is by committee. You have a Jalen Green, you have an Amen Thompson, you have a Sengun, but you don't have one guy. You say, hey, guys, go get this bucket. They don't have that. And last night, I think their inexperience, I think their youth, it showed its ugly head. They're in trouble. They're in trouble because Golden State always felt that they could beat this team. And I don't see any reason why they should lose any confidence. Now, look, Ime is going to have these guys to come back, and they're going to play well. But I was very disappointed in the Rockets, Stephen A., because I expected them to show me a little more, considering they had the 2 seed wrapped up for almost 2 weeks, and I expected them to come out and play better. Now, they came out, had a little lead, and next thing you know, the Warriors don't miss. Steph Curry takes off, hit a couple of shots falling out of the sky, and they win this game going away, really.
Well, listen, they were down 23. They came back. I give them credit for that. You held Golden State to 95 points. I give them credit for that. But where the indictment against them offensively comes into play, not only did they not shoot well from the field, not only did they not shoot well from three-point range, Molly, they missed 9 of 20 free throws. I mean, come on now. I mean, this is the playoffs. If you can't make free throws, and especially if you're a team that struggles offensively, you've got to be able to make free throws. And I'm telling you right now, I don't give a damn how well they played defensively. I don't give a damn how well they out-rebound Golden State, which they did last night. I think it was like 52-36. If you can't shoot from the field, from three-point range, or from the free throws, essentially you can't score, which means you have no shot at beating Golden State. They better get in that gym and practice making some damn shots, period.
Shannon, final word
Stephen
here,
A.,
and then
I'm
we'll keep it
looking
pushing.
Stephen A., I'm looking at Jalen Green over his last 5 games. He had 7 points, 2 points, 7 points, 5 points, 21 points. So if you go back and look at him over the last 5 or 6 games, he has not shot the ball well. He has not played well. And remember, against the Lakers, Stephen A., I think he only played like 15 minutes. So he's going to have to play much better, and we know he's capable of doing that. If they don't have any chance to win, he's going to have to help Sengun.
We'll leave it there. All right, guys, speaking of struggles, game 1 couldn't have gone.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Run It Back. Michelle Boogie Cousins is back. The whole week you're stuck with us in here. Yes. I love that for us. Chandler, Lou Will there on the... You're way down there, Lou. How you doing, buddy?
Good morning.
We have a lot...
What happened to our blazers? Yeah, we said we were going to do suits for the playoff.
Why are you acting... Like, I was going to wear one, and then I realized nobody said anything, so I'll wear one.
Me and Lou were going to say we're going to do it, so you showed up in a suit.
Oh, it was so embarrassing to wear a blazer.
Boogie's the reason I didn't do it, because I knew he wasn't tapped into the plan.
I appreciate you, then man. We're never doing it?
So we went crew neck sweaters. Yeah.
And I went preppy weird shirt. Okay, guys, basketball happened over the weekend. Some of it good, a lot of it not. But we're going to start with Warriors and Rockets. Golden State with a 1-game lead. Yep, they steal home court down there. Steph and Jimmy. It's a 95-85 win, 31 for Steph, 25 for Jimmy Butler. Sengun finished with 26 points and 9 rebounds. But yes, you heard those numbers correctly. Steph and Jimmy with 56 of Golden State's 95 points. I'm wondering, Boogie, is there a duo right now in these here playoffs that you're taking over those two?
Absolutely. I mean, I can go with the duo of Jalen Williams and Shea. I mean...
wow.
But there's no knock to the Warriors. I think, this is one of their better showings. We spoke on this earlier in the year. When they're a good defensive team, the Warriors are a tough team to beat. Obviously, experience matters in the playoffs. This is another prime example of that. For some reason, the narrative in today's game is if you're older, you're no longer valuable.
In today's game.
Yeah, in today's game. But obviously they show otherwise, and this is a very, very tough team. They'll continue to be a tough team throughout the playoffs. They beat a tough young team in the Rockets in game 1. But, I think experience matters, and I think defense matters, and they showed that.
We can make a case for a lot of duos, right?
Sure.
But this duo works for Golden State. I like the way that Jimmy and Steph, they're able to play together. We know what type of threat Steph is behind the three-point line. But again, we know playoff basketball is about half court. How can you execute? Where can you throw the ball? How can you get free throw attempts? How can you get drives to the basket? Things that are going to slow the game down for you to be efficient as possible, especially when teams are trying to take away options. So when things start drying up for Steph Curry, what do? You give the ball to Jimmy Butler. He can play with his back to the basket. He can face up. Obviously, he can get to the free throw line. And in playoff basketball, that's so essential. And it showed in that first game. Their experience showed. The style of play showed. Like they just trumped the Houston Rockets at every stop that they could possibly do it.
Yeah, there's a duo in Boston that's pretty good. That's still the champs. Brown and Jason Tatum,
And
the young
White.
duo that DeMarcus talked about, LeBron and Luka. There's a bunch of good duos, but like Lou said, this duo fits and they work and they play off each other, and you can't show as much attention to Steph when now you got Jimmy with a mismatch on the post and a block up, and you can't jump on the screen because Jimmy and Jim, they play so smart and they play well together, and they have 2 closers instead of just running Steph off all these screens. So him and Jimmy, they fit beautifully together. Their defense has been unbelievable ever since he's gotten there, but they're an experienced, winning, tough duo, but there's a lot of good duos out there.
It's perfect because you can see Golden State go through their progressions. Like they go option 1, option 2, option 3. Then when you get short on the shot clock, you got Jimmy Butler that you can throw it to that can get you to the free throw line, or he can just play bully ball, get a layup, or even a jump shot. Like that's so deadly for, especially when you're paying so much close attention to Steph Curry running off a screen. Once you stop that, you still got a threat that you can throw the ball into. It's deadly, and it's going to be a long series for Houston to deal with that.
Here's what I'm wondering, too, because Steph Curry, the last time these two teams played, just had the 3 points, and a lot of people were like, ooh, Amen Thompson is the X factor. He's figured it out. And, he's a young guy. I'm sure he walked into this game with a certain bit of confidence, and then this happens. Like, if you're him and you're the Rockets, what do you take away from it?
No, he's a great defender, but we hadn't found a guy yet that can guard Steph Curry.
There's no such thing as a Steph.
It's not a Steph stopper. Like, we won't start that. We won't start that at this particular time in Steph's career. But, the last time that they met, he did have 3 points on 1 of 10 shooting. 8 of those were 3-pointers. Like,
that's the shot, by the way. That was stupid.
Yeah, so 8 of those were 3-pointers. That just tells me Steph is still shooting the shots that he wants to shoot, that he wants to get off, but they didn't go down. And 10 attempts shows me everything that I need to know about that box score. It just wasn't his night. They threw the towel in. I don't think that had much to do with